visiting Madrid doesn't always mean you have to only see the capital. If you are one of the people who's returning to this amazing city for a second or a third time, let me present to you 5 awesome places near Madrid that you definitely need to explore. And before we begin, be sure to like, share and subscribe so you can watch more amazing content like this before you come to Spain. Let's begin. San Lorenzo de El Escorial town. San Lorenzo de El Escorial is a small town situated at the feet of the Sierra de Madrid mountain range at the northwest of Madrid. Maybe its main and most known attraction is the El Escorial monastery. The monastery is a huge building that extends over an area of more than 35,000 square meters and was constructed between 1563 and 1584 by the King Philippe II, and since 1984 it is a part of the UNESCO World Heritage. The basic entry fee is around 12 euros, but is really worth the price. There are several things to see inside the monastery, such as the basilica, a library about 54 meters long, the Pantheon of Kings, the battle room, the gardens and the crypt. In all of them, you will be amazed by the architecture of the building, the sculptures and the paintings. Next to the monastery and located in a large park is the House of the Prince, and it is one of the residences of the royal family. It is a small house of about 27 meters in length and 2 stories, surrounded by a beautiful garden with hydrangeas, pines and sequoias. There is also a restaurant where you can relax and have lunch. The San Lorenzo de El Escorial town is quite a beautiful town, with many pastry shops, restaurants and places to walk or trek. One of these treks is to the chair of Philippe II, situated at above 1400 meters. From there you can see all the town, the monastery, all the surroundings, and it is a great place to take a picture. The Aranjuez village. Aranjuez is a small town situated in the extreme south of the community of Madrid, and it is the place of the royal palace of Aranjuez, which has been the country residence of the Spanish kings. The things to visit in Aranjuez is the royal palace, which is also a World Heritage of UNESCO, surrounded by more than 250 hectares of amazing gardens, fountains and sculptures. Located at the confluence of the Tajo and the Jarama rivers, the surroundings of the palace are as beautiful as its interior, with great gardens and parks to take a stroll, enjoy nature and its fauna, like the peacocks present all through the garden. The entry fee of the palace is about 9 euros, but the gardens are free. There are 3 main gardens around the palace and another named Garden of the Prince not far from it. Another beautiful landmark to visit in Aranjuez around the palace is the San Antonio Square, or have lunch at one of the typical Spanish restaurants, or even kayaking on the river. The Chinchón village. Situated at about 15 kilometers from Aranjuez, Chinchón's main attraction is its Plaza Mayor, or the central square. Listed as one of the most beautiful in the world, it is a square of medieval origin with several entrances and a rather irregular shape. It dates back to the 15th and 16th centuries and has 234 balconies with green railings. On the time of filming, the village had its festives and the square had stands all around for bullfights. Below the square's buildings are many restaurants where you can enjoy the typical Madrid cuisine. Other things to see in Chinchón is its cathedral that dates back to the 16th century, having a Gothic, Renaissance and Baroque architecture, and of course the castle of the Counts. Buitrago de Lozoya is a special gem in the Sierra de Madrid mountain range, one of the most beautiful towns in the community of Madrid. It offers multiple tourist attractions of great historical and natural interest. The Buitrago Castle, also known as the Mendoza Castle, is a must-see with its well-preserved medieval structure. The Mendoza Castle, its brick and masonry evidence a Mudejar architecture. It has an almost square shape and was fortified by 7 towers. It was the residence of the Marquis of Santillana and his family, future Dukes of Infantado. Queen Joanna of Portugal and her daughter Joanna of Beltraneja resided there. It has also welcomed kings like Juan II and Philip III, frequent guests of the Mendoza family. The Buitrago wall, which surrounds the old town, provides a fascinating tour of the town's history. The walled enclosure is the most unique and best preserved fortified complex in the community of Madrid. It was declared a national monument in 1931. It's presumed that the original wall was built by the Muslims, or in the early days of the Christian conquest between the 11th and the 12th century. The wall is made up of 2 main elements along a route of about 800 meters. The south side of the wall or high wall can only be visited during fixed hours, with an entrance price of €2. The low walkway can be traversed freely. The Church of Santa Maria del Castillo, which was completed at the beginning of the 14th century, with its Mudejar tower, is another highlight for lovers of art and religious architecture. The main entrance to the church is adorned with interesting Elizabethan decoration from the 16th century. The tower has Mudejar elements framing its 20 openings, 5 on each side. It has 2 chapels, also restored in the Mudejar style. Walking along Calle Real and Plaza de la Constitución allows you to enjoy the traditional atmosphere of the town, with its shops and coffees, where we can find the best places to eat lunch or dinner. As mentioned in the Manzanares El Real video, which I will link in the pop-up banner or in the description, in all villages from the north of Madrid, the food is awesome, so feel free to try any dish. Also, once you had lunch, don't forget to visit some of the local bakeries. The traditional sweets are really good. Alcalá de Henares. Its name means Castle of Henares River. It is one of the best known and most visited cities in Madrid. It has a great historical and cultural trajectory. Its wealth is incredible. From prehistory to today, many peoples have passed through Alcalá de Henares, like the Romans, the Visigoths, the Arabs. This beautiful city was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1998. As you arrive in Alcalá de Henares, and as in every Spanish town, the one thing that rises above the cityscape is its cathedral. The history of the magistral cathedral of Alcalá de Henares has its roots in the beginning of the 4th century, when 2 Spanish Roman children, Justo and Pastor, aged 7 and 9, were beheaded outside the city of Complutum by order of Dacian, praetor in charge of applying the edict of persecution of the Emperor Diocletian in Spain. It is worth highlighting the temple ordered to be built by the Cardinal Cisneros at the end of the 15th century, which gave the rise to the magistral church. It is the same church that has also been the cathedral since 1991, being the only Gothic cathedral in the community of Madrid. The University of Alcalá. The emblematic institution of the University of Alcalá dates back to 1498, the year in which Cardinal Cisneros requested papal authorization from Rome to found the university. With the construction of the university complex, it became the first university city. Since its beginning in 1508, it has been composed of the Colegio Mayor de San Ildefonso, the current rectorate building, whose construction is impressive, the 2 colleges of grammarians, the 4 colleges of artists, that of San Pedro and San Pablo, and the housing of the students. The Cervantes Birthhouse Museum, The Cervantes Birthhouse Museum is a building that reconstructs the place according to studies by historian Luis Astrana Marin. The writer Miguel de Cervantes was born. It is located on the Calle Mayor, one of the most important streets in the old town of the city. The house is a two-story building that recreates the different environments of daily life in a wealthy house from the 16th and 17th centuries. Every day, hundreds of people visit this emblematic place in Alcalá. Continuing the walk along the main street, it is worth noting that it is the longest porticoed street on both sides in Europe. Here we can enjoy a wide variety of terraces, bars and restaurants with exquisite cuisine. The main street leads to the largest and most important square in the city, Plaza de Cervantes, which, as its name indicates, pays tribute to the great writer Miguel de Cervantes. In the center of the square, we find his statue dating from 1879. On the west side, we find the town hall, and adjacent, the choral of the Comedians Theatre, another emblem of the city. The Plaza de Cervantes has a bandstand from the late 19th century, and behind it, the tower of the old church of Santa Maria la Mayor, a splendid viewpoint of the city that can be accessed for free. We should also mention the beauty of the facade of the headquarters of the Circo del Contribuyentes and its barometer from the end of the 19th century. In short, Alcalá de Henares is a very complete city with a lot of history and culture that you should visit at least once in your life. My name is Alex Moraras. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, share, and definitely subscribe to find out more amazing places to visit before you come to Spain.